Cumberland Valley traveled to Central Dauphin, and the Eagles pinned the Rams with just their first home loss in more than 10 years. The next day, everyone was talking about the 170-pound matchup between T.C. Warner and Garrett Peppelman, two of the top-ranked wrestlers in the country. What will everyone be talking about tomorrow? Stay tuned and find out. Lower Dauphin and Cedar Cliff, next on High School Sports Live. Welcome to Cedar Cliff High School. John Rebbitz, joined by George Hartwick, and we're getting set to bring you a Keystone Division matchup in Mid-Penn Conference tonight. Cedar Cliff hosting Lower Dauphin, and George, both teams come in 3-0 in the division, so tonight's match is for first place, outright possession of first place, and also, I guess, in all likelihood, the possible division championship, isn't it?
Two storied schools. I mean, you take a look at the history. We talk about 100-win leaders. We talk about tradition. We talk about victories. There's no two teams that have the type of historical value than Lower Dauphin and Cedar Cliff. And tonight, while we have some young individual wrestlers out there on the mat, we still have some experienced wrestlers. And tonight, again, as you stated, more in the line. They keep turning them out. And tonight, we're going to see a matchup of two good teams that are now undefeated.
Okay, two young teams, two good teams. Lower Dauphin, I guess, comes in sort of as the underdog. They're fighting the uphill battle. Do they have what it takes to challenge the Colts tonight?
I think they'll make it interesting, but I believe the Colts, with the lineup of the Colellos, Max Good, they've got some quality kids who probably will be either on the victory stand or state place winners at the end of the year. While I think it'll be a competitive match, I think Cedar Cliff has the edge tonight.
Is the pressure on the Colts? They're home. They're the division champs from last year. They can possibly wrap it up tonight. Is the pressure on their shoulders tonight?
Well, I think Cedar Cliff, there's a lot to wrestle for tonight. We got a 100-win opportunity for Jake Colello. We've got a coach who's nearing 150 victories. We've got a pretty good crowd here tonight. And again, Central Pennsylvania wrestling, it gets no better than this, folks.
Okay, folks, get ready. We're going to have a good one for you. Mid-Penn Keystone Division battle. Lower Dauphin and Cedar Cliff coming your way next on High School Sports Live.
Hey guys, just in time.
When Julie wanted to provide some stability for her two boys, she reached out to the Pennsylvania Housing Finance Agency for her home loan. We're proud we could help Julie and her family. If you're looking for an affordable home loan or refinancing option, give us a call. We offer down payment and closing cost assistance too. Call us weekdays 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. or check our website. We're the Pennsylvania Housing Finance Agency. We help homeownership dreams come true.
This new diet half and half's awesome.
Best part's lemonade. Best part's a tea. Lemonade! Tea! Lemonade! Tea! Lemonade! Tea! Lemonade! Tea! Lemonade! Tea!
So which half is your favorite?
And they're blended so perfectly, who cares? Tasty tea, tangy lemonade, 10 calories. Snapple diet half and half. Made from the best stuff on earth.
Chrysler, Jeep, Nissan. The Brenner family of dealerships is proud to support High School Sports Live. We've been serving Central PA for over 92 years and have everything that you're looking for when purchasing a vehicle. Great customer service, great pricing and selection, an excellent service department for the life of your vehicle. All at the Brenner family of dealerships on the Carlisle Pike Mechanicsburg and 24/7 at BrennerFamily.com. Serving Central PA for over 92 years.
Under a new state law, all electronics must be recycled.
Welcome to the Dauphin County Recycling Center, where recycling is quick, easy, and free.
You may recycle appliances or even cell phones.
We're open 6 days a week and recycling is as easy as 1, 2, 3.
Contact our helpful staff at the Recycling Center or visit our website for more information.
Help us protect our planet, because tomorrow does matter.
No matter the season, when it's time to gear up, you've got to get to Kelly's Sports. Kelly's Sports. Top quality sports equipment for the field, the rink, the court, and more. Matched with the experience and knowledge to help you get the winning edge. Plus all the latest styles from Nike, Adidas, and Under Armour. And the large selection of name brand athletic footwear. Local sports team members get 10% off all purchases. Kelly's Sports. In the High Point Commons, Harrisburg. Or visit online at kellysports.com.
Welcome back to Cedar Cliff High School. John Reppitz, George Hartwick getting ready for the opening match. We are starting at 152 pounds tonight. And for Cedar Cliff, we are expecting Medard Kowalski. The Lower Dauphin at 152, we are expecting Angel Cruz to take the mat.
Boy, they got the Carolina blue on earlier.
Yeah.
That's a unusual uniform for Cedar Cliff.
Usually you see Cedar Cliff in the darker blue than Lower Dauphin, but not tonight. So looks like Cedar Cliff is going to be in the pale blue. Lower Dauphin will be in the royal blue with the white trim. As we get the wrestlers with their appropriate colored bands around the ankles, and we are set to go, and we are underway. 152 pounds, Medard Kowalski of Cedar Cliff, Angel Cruz of the Lower Dauphin.
Medard Kowalski coming in. He's a junior with it looks like a record of 7-4. Started out, wrestled a little bit this season at 170, is now down at 152 pounds. Looks like a strong, big kid for 152. I think he might have made weight for the first time tonight at 152 pounds. Going up against Angel Cruz, a sophomore. Angel Cruz has not won a match this year, but again, when you have two storied programs, Lower Dauphin versus Cedar Cliff, we expect one heck of a battle tonight, and we start out at 152. Kowalski in. He's trying to look inside position. Tough when you go ear to ear. He uses it, pushes aside, in on a single leg. Lifting up, good position for his head, covers both legs up, earns the first 2 points of the match.
Kowalski up 2-0, 45 seconds left in the first period.
He's now working up towards the top of the head. He's got to be careful not to get out too high. 30 seconds remaining in the period. It appears Angel Cruz, with his face to the mat, is content with laying there. He needs to start to move up off the mat if he doesn't want to get called for stalling here early. Trying to move into a base position. Trying to get wrist control on the opposite side. Stands to his feet. Looking to earn 1 point escape. Kowalski hangs on at the end of the period.
So first 2 minutes down, Kowalski with a 2-0 lead. Opening bout of the night, 152 pounds. And George, you were saying that earlier in the year, Medard was wrestling up at 170. How unusual is it for somebody to drop down a couple weight classes like that?
Well, every year based upon a formula with body fat where you're at, you can only drop to a certain level. Suspecting that he wrestled 170 early in the season, this is probably where you can expect Kowalski to be for the rest of the season. They have a much stricter weight control in than when I was a wrestler. A lot of the fans may be watching, and you're never allowed to drop lower than 2 weight classes beyond where you begin, and that's all dependent upon your body fat and your ability to lose weight.
So much more scientific now than it used to be.
Yeah, and a lot safer for the kids. Kowalski trying to work a tilt here, cross arm. Has to be careful he doesn't put himself in bad position. Still has wrist control for the young wrestlers out there watching. Wrist control and that positioning is so important. Cruz attempting to get to his feet. Out of bounds. Still 2-0 with 1:35 remaining.
That picture right there kind of sets the scene here tonight. It's one of the great things about wrestling is you can put them in the middle of the floor with a single spotlight over top of them and put them in the spotlight and darken the rest of the arena. You can't get that in basketball. You can't get that in football, in any other sport.
And it's also the most humbling sport and the most rewarding sport. There's nobody else out there to blame. There's nobody you can point your finger at, and the spotlight is on you. And in that case, we saw that Lower Dauphin wrestler Angel Cruz was called for stalling there. You get one warning for stalling. The second warning will result in a penalty point for the wrestler who is not stalling, in this case the offensive position, which is Medard Kowalski. Again, Kowalski breaking Cruz down, but not working too much to the side. He's got to be careful. You can't continue to ride parallel. You need to work to the side, work for a turn. And in this case, he's got both hands on a wrist, riding parallel. I wouldn't be surprised if the official, now, again, just as I say it, he starts working to the side.
He must have heard you.
He now has one wrist on the top of the back. There's a number of things that you can do from this position. He wants the lace to arm underneath, which he's successfully done. Again, the official there calling a potentially dangerous. Anytime you extend the joint past parallel or to a point where it could be a danger to the defensive wrestler there, the official calls a potentially dangerous hold.
It's under 30 seconds to go. Second period, 152 pounds, opening bout of the night.
Kowalski working the tilt, cross wrist tilt. Attempting to turn him for two. No back points awarded by the official.
And Rob Rapsey, Cedar Cliff coach, disagreed with that call. Thought his wrestler racked up a couple of points there.
I saw a lot of the fans standing up in the gym at that time.
Everybody's a better official than the official on the mat, isn't it?
Boy, don't I know it. I've got the scars to prove it.
Second period in the books. That was scoreless second period, so Kowalski will take a 2-0 lead into tonight's third period. And again, for those of you who may be new to the sport of high school wrestling, each match consists of potentially 3 2-minute periods. There are 14 different weight classes making up a match. You score team points based on how many points you win your individual match by. And at the end of the night, you add up all 14 individual scores, and the team with the most comes out on top.
You know, I thought I saw the official award an escape point there. I don't see it yet on the scoreboard. It should be 3-0 Kowalski. He started out in the defensive position and earned neutral, so it should be 3-0 Cedar Cliff. Score not yet reflecting that.
There it is. Now they got it.
Cruz attempting a headlock. Kowalski's in a pretty good post position. Pulls his head out and earns another 2-point takedown.
Minute to go, third period. Kowalski on top, 5-0.
Again, trying to maintain wrist control. Allows Cruz out for a 1-point escape. Back in the neutral position, both trying to work wrists. Nice slide by Cruz. Not in a great position with his head there. Kowalski sprawling back, blocking on the inside, trying an inside whizzer. He needs to get his leg free and spin around, which he does. Now once he gets underneath the arm, he'll earn 2 for another takedown. Let's Cruz up again. Back in the neutral position, 15 seconds remaining. Needs 2 more points for a major decision. Cruz the aggressor. Cruz in on a single leg. Tries an attempt to trick. Inside whizzer. Again, this could mean something related to bonus points.
And it's going to go into the books. Medard Kowalski, a 7-2 winner at 152 pounds. You're watching High School Sports Live on ABC 27, presented by PHFA.
It's always better when you get to pick your team. That's why I didn't just accept the regional health plan offered at work. I went to a Highmark Direct store and picked a more affordable plan with a broader network, one that I feel better with.
For the most value, you're better with Blue. We're reinventing affordable health care for today and for generations to come. For all you do, you're better with Highmark Blue Shield.
Back at Cedar Cliff High School, the Colts with the early lead, taking the first match of the night. They are up by a score of 3-0 on the team scoreboard. Now we move to 160 pounds.
Brings a really good matchup tonight. Jake Colello, I believe he's going for his 100th win tonight versus Bailey Shutt. Both wrestlers are undefeated coming in here tonight, and this should probably be the marquee matchup of tonight. Both guys experienced wrestlers.
George, before this match, I pulled out my match sheet from last year when Lower Dauphin and Cedar Cliff went at it, and Jake actually won at 160 pounds last year with a 58-second pin over Caleb Ware.
Yep.
So,
a different wrestler tonight at Bailey Shutt, somebody who has had a pretty good junior high career, somebody who there's high expectations for. He's a sophomore at 160 pounds, but someone that I believe will be competitive later in the season, and somebody who has a great deal of wrestling experience despite him only being a sophomore.
In the opening to the telecast, we were talking about the experience and the depth of these teams. Out of the 28 wrestlers that took part in this match last year, I think we have about 19 or 20 of those returning tonight, actually going to be back in action, or potentially could be back on the mat tonight. So,
and a testament to both undefeated divisional records. Good matchup, and tonight you've got a matchup of two kids who have a chance to really do something. Obviously, Colello has already had a great career, going for his 100th victory tonight, and then Bailey Shutt tonight, the young and upcoming wrestler in a long line of Lower Dauphin tradition, trying to establish himself as one of the top wrestlers in this division.
And again, if you're just tuning in, that is Cedar Cliff in the light blue singlets tonight. Those of you that have followed Cedar Cliff over the years, or followed local sports over the years, realize that their school colors are a dark blue, almost navy.
Yeah.
And to see them in George, as you put it, the Carolina blue singlet, it's a little unusual.
Well, maybe it's something that may be indicative of a 150 win mark, but I'll tell you, Bob Craig probably wouldn't let him go out in these uniforms.
Bob Craig, of course, a legendary coach here at Cedar Cliff, really put this school on the map athletics-wise through his wrestling program and football programs over the years.
Great man. He was I remember when I first started out as an official, he was the toughest critic, but always gave the most challenging and good advice, both as a wrestler and an official. A great coach, a great mentor, and somebody who's brought along a lot of world-class athletes to this program.
Scoreless opening 2 minutes, so we go to the second period at 160. We are still 0-0 on the board.
At the start of the second period, Bailey Shutt, the sophomore from Lower Dauphin, chooses the defensive position, attempting to try to earn the first points of the match. The first points could be significantly critical if the match ends in a tie and you go to the sudden death ride out. The first point scored is given the opportunity to get choice in that final 30 seconds, so there could be significance to that choice. Oh man, that was really nice. Jake Colello showing his strength, working a power half, bringing him through. Looks like he earned 2 points, but I'll tell you, Bailey Shutt come right out of that. He's worked through, earns a neutral position. While he put himself in a difficult spot, he's now in a neutral position with a 2-1 score early in the second period.
So not much happening up to that point, but then all of a sudden that sudden flurry, 2 on the takedown for Colello and 1 on the escape for Shutt. So it is Colello of Cedar Cliff on top, 2-1. So we just are coming up to the halfway point in this bout at 160 pounds tonight.
This is a great competitive match. Bailey Shutt showing that while Jake Colello has a great deal of strength, put himself in great position, he was able to work out of a potentially dangerous situation on his back, Now we're in a neutral position. Only a 1-point lead separates the two. However, again, Jake Colello earns the first 2 points of the match, which could prove to be critical in a match this close.
Halfway through, 160. Colello, 2-1 lead.
Both guys look like they're in really good condition mid-season. Not a lot of breathing early. Shut the aggressor. Colello works out. Working the edge here of the mat. Shut happy to move out of bounds and start again neutral.
George, I notice you used the term aggressor a couple of times already tonight. Is that an individual style, or is that something that actually filters down from a coaching perspective, and maybe a head coach, kind of has his team wrestle, from start to finish in that style?
I think it's, depends upon the strengths of the wrestler and the coach, and the way that they're driven as a wrestler. Some folks like to take a defensive role, and they're good counter wrestlers. It appears that Bailey Shutt here is constantly on the tack, constantly trying to move towards a takedown. And usually it results in just what you see there, a stalling call on Colello being the guy who's backing out versus the guy who's the aggressor. Again, Bailey Shutt, the guy promoting the action. Colello working really hard on an inside position. He's got the inside arm, wasn't able to get around. Shutt puts his arm up to stop the spin around.
Second period down, it's 2-1. Jake Colello leading Bailey Shutt of Lower Dauphin. We head to a final 2 minutes at 160.
No surprise here, Jake Colello selecting the defensive position with a 2-1 lead. He's going to want to figure out a way to get out, extend the lead to 2 points, and then force a takedown. And only a takedown if, in fact, he escapes is what's going to tie this match up. So he's going to force him back on his feet if, in fact, Shutt can't earn a 2-point near fall.
He had the quick shot there, the Cedar Cliff bench. Colt coach Rob Rapsey going for his 150th career win. Is the mentor of the Cedar Cliff program tonight, if victorious.
Colello on his feet. Bailey Shutt needs to bring him back down to the mat, or will be called for stalling. Again, you hear some disagreement from the crowd saying he didn't make an attempt to bring him down to the mat. Referee with a no call, and probably warranted at that point. They're back now into an offensive and defensive position with Colello starting out in the bottom with a 2-1 lead.
Coach Pegram of Lower Dauphin also looking on.
Bailey Shutt, that's where he needs to be. He needs to break him flat to the mat, and if he's not able to turn him, my suggestion, and you'll probably hear from the coach, is to cut him. They're probably going to want to cut him. If he can't turn him here, he's got to cut him if he wants to earn a victory. And again, he's got an arm trapped here. He's got to be able to use it and pull him back into a position. He's got to be very careful there. You can't take that arm up past parallel. I see Cedar Cliff's coach coming out to the mat. You've got to be very careful there. That's a potentially dangerous situation. He's right now has it in a legal situation. He's pulling on that shoulder, but he's attempting to earn 2 points there. And he's actually pulling around, and it looks like he is earning the 2 points there.
2 points.
That's a big deal. That's a big deal. Now he's got them both trapped. Bad situation there for Jake Colello. You've got Shutt earning a 3-point near fall, which will give him the lead here, 3-2. With only 35 seconds to go on the clock, he has no incentive to let him off his back here and has no requirement to do so.
30 seconds left.
Now he has it tight. He's squaring him up. That's a tight position, and he earns the fall.
Bailey Shutt, the pin is Lower Dauphin at 160. You're watching High School Sports Live on ABC 27, presented by PHFA.
Rest of the match.
Hershey Entertainment and Resorts delivers state-of-the-art roller coasters, the legendary AHL Bears hockey team, premier entertainment, and much more. We are proud to sponsor young athletes through the efforts of High School Sports Live.
Back at Cedar Cliff High School, the Lower Dauphin bench celebrating that pin by Bailey Shutt at 162 pounds over Jake Colello. There is Mr. Shutt, gives his team a 6-3 lead. So now we go to 170 pounds. Even one match each. But the Falcons on top of the Colts by a team score of 6-3. Cole Whalen of Cedar Cliff at 170, taking on Caleb Ware of Lower Dauphin. And it's Caleb Ware with the early takedown for a 2-0 lead.
Boy, Lower Dauphin came to wrestle tonight.
Yes, they did.
That was a huge victory. And not only did they earn a victory in a spot where, Colello was going for his 100th win, but they earned bonus points there. And now we've got a matchup of Caleb Ware at 182 versus Cole Whalen. It appears that Caleb Ware has an undefeated record coming into this match. And as you may know, Cole Whalen, the Whalen family, Bob Whalen, I believe this is his son, a storied wrestling family in Cedar Cliff's history. This shapes up to be another match tonight that is a toss-up in the upper weights. Cole Whalen earning a 1-point escape, make the match 2-1 with 1:01 remaining.
Cole's father, Bob Whalen, wrestled here at Cedar Cliff from 1985 to 1988. Member of the 100-win club, Bob put 105 wins on the board during his Cedar Cliff career.
That was close. Very close. Cole Whalen getting in on a double leg, taking him out, but his toes drug out of bounds prior to him gaining control. We're back on our feet in a neutral position with 44 seconds remaining. Good match here. Two good matchups. Cole Whalen working the Russian tie, maintaining wrist control, keeping his head in a good position. Nice duck under. These guys are really battling hard for position early. Nice snap down. Again, shot near the edge. Back on her feet, 2-1 edge for Caleb Ware from Lower Dauphin. Tough to score ear to ear.
So, end of the first period. It is Caleb Ware with a 2-1 lead over Cole Whalen at 170 pounds. And again, if you're new to wrestling, you're wondering, well, if each team has won one match so far, how could it be 6-3 on the board? As we started to touch upon earlier, you win team points based on the number of points you win by. So it was Bailey Shutt getting 16 points for that pin. You get 3 points if you win a decision.
Major decision by 8 points. You get
8 to 14 points. You get 14 points, and a technical fall is if you open up a 15-point lead over your opponent. You get 5 points.
Got to be careful there. All right, let me explain to the viewing audience at home why that was called the way it was. You cannot lift a wrestler off the mat and not bring them back safely. If you take them off the mat, you're responsible for returning into the mat in a safe fashion. You can't allow him to be slammed on his body, particularly his neck, as the first point of contact back to the mat. In that case, you had Caleb Ware take Cole Whalen off the mat, and he brought him back down with his head hitting the mat first. In that case, it's called an illegal slam. Illegal slam will allow the other wrestler to get 1 point, a penalty point, and then you're allowed recovery time when that occurs. The recovery time is minute 30, and you have the ability to use all that recovery time and then determine whether or not the wrestler is fit with an analysis by the doctor and by the response from the wrestler of whether or not he can continue the match. If he can't continue, the actual wrestler who gets slammed will win by default.
And it's Dr. Blacksmith out there on the mat.
None better. He was there to look in my eyes many times as I was slammed to the mat.
And did he see anything when he looked into your eyes? I guess that's the big question.
He'll have to answer that question.
Cole Whalen back on his feet.
I will tell you this about Dr. Blacksmith. I've done many state finals as an official. He always wants to encourage the wrestlers to get back in the action. There's no funny business. He'll make a determination whether or not you're fit to continue, and based upon that medical analysis and nothing else, he'll make sure that the wrestler continues if he's fit to. There's been instances where somebody has been outclassed, they get slammed, and they lay on the mat, and therefore winning, and you won't see that with Doc Blacksmith.
In a situation like this, say Cole decides to continue, or he's cleared by Dr. Blacksmith to continue, and then after a couple of seconds realizes he just can't go on. What would happen then?
Then, actually, Cole Whalen would lose by injury default. Once that recovery time is complete and he goes back in as an active wrestler, if he can't
once
continue,
he starts
he'd
back,
lose
okay,
by an injury default.
Good explanation. So here we go, 1:34 left, second period. It's Whalen on top by a score of 3-2. After the slam to the mat, cleared by the good doctor, so we continue on.
Both guys still working very hard. Tight match, trying to maintain good position. It appears that Whalen, from what I've seen so far, is the aggressor in this match. Coming back to the center with a minute remaining. Still a 3-2 lead. Cole Whalen over Caleb Ware of Lower Dauphin. And then another shot by Caleb Whalen. And again, Caleb Ware needs to be careful here. Again, if Whalen continues to shoot, continues to be the aggressor, and he continues to back him up, I wouldn't be surprised if the official won't call Caleb Ware for stalling in this case. See, his first steps are backwards. You can't take your first steps backwards. Let me tell you, Caleb Ware, again, you see one or two more shots strung together, I wouldn't be surprised to see a stalling call from the official. There it is.
There it is. The arm in the air by the official was the stalling call against Caleb Ware.
Again, back in on a single leg. He's got it good. Now, you know what? That's close to fleeing the mat there. Referee giving a little leeway, but I'll tell you something. The referee tonight, I was critical on Thursday night. Larry tonight is really doing a fine job, really doing a good job officiating.
That's Larry Steele, the man in the striped shirt tonight.
Not to be confused by the boxing official. And there he goes. Caleb Ware backing out again. The offensive aggressiveness of Cole Whalen has earned him now 1 point. 2 stalling warnings on Caleb Ware, and now you see he'll promote the action. You see? He's got to come in and wrestle now. Backs up again, he'll lose another point.
Into the second period. That stalling point awarded to Cole Whalen gives him a 4-2 lead. You see it right there, and the official puts the arm in the air.
Great job by Larry Steele.
Ware obviously didn't agree with that, but he is not the man in charge. So here we go to third period.
Caution on Cole Whalen. He's got to be careful that he doesn't argue with the official. Started a little early there. Again, you get 2 cautions before a point is awarded. That being Cole Whalen's first caution. No jeopardy of losing the point at this juncture. Caleb Ware out immediately for an escape. They're on their feet for the third period. And as should be in a match this close, a takedown will win the match. It was a good match. Really aggressive. Both guys going at each other.
George, oftentimes when you get these wrestlers like this and they're locked up in the middle of the mat head to head and they're kind of grappling. So I think the average non-traditional wrestling fan, they might say, you know, it's really a lot of nothing going on. There's really a lot of stuff going on.
There's a lot going on. Positioning, as you saw there, Caleb Ware took a chance, tried to get in very, very tight. He put himself in a bad position, stayed upright. Cole Whalen bumped his hip into him, knocked him to the side, and earned another 2 points for a takedown to go up 6-3 with a minute 13 remaining. But there's a lot of positioning. Again, it's oftentimes in these matches the wrestler that makes the mistake. It's a difference.
Cole Whelan attempting to get both a half and he's got a wing in on one side. Easily maintaining position here. Caleb Ware needs to work his head off the mat. He's in danger of getting called for stalling again. Larry Steele is an experienced official.
And if you see Whalen, he's actually trying to pull Ware back onto the mat.
You got to wrestle in. You got to wrestle in. Caleb Ware attempting to move off the mat. And again, he's got to move his head off the mat or this official will call him for stalling.
Now they're off the mat. 30 seconds left, George, at this point. How badly are the lungs and the muscles screaming?
I don't think anybody understands wrestling shape unless you're a wrestler. Third period, 30 seconds to go. You train for this, you run hills, you do extra monkey rolls, you're in the room for 3 hours a day. You need to be in shape. This is where the champions are made, in the last 30 seconds of a wrestling match.
So many times you see a match decided on a move in the closing seconds. It often comes down to conditioning.
Again,
so it's now
6-4.
A takedown by Caleb Ware can tie it.
And again, Whalen has no stalling penalty so far, and he got one quick.
Got one right there.
Larry Steele caught him. He's going to make him wrestle. I'll tell you something. I want to commend Larry Steele for the matches called so far. He's been fair. He's been consistent. And Whalen needs to be very careful here at the end of the mat. He can't back away.
Basically a restart, and we are done at 170 pounds. Cole Whalen is Cedar Cliff, the winner, 6-4 over Caleb Ware at 170. You're watching High School Sports Live on ABC 27, presented by PHFA.
For 57 years, he held the Big 33 Football Classic as the Super Bowl of high school football. 2012 brought the Big 26 Baseball Classic. Look out in the fall of 2014, the Big 13 Basketball Classic. Stay tuned at big33.com.
Commonwealth Connections Academy, a tuition-free public cyber school serving students in kindergarten through 12th grade.
Back at Cedar Cliff High School, team score tied at 6-6. As we move to 182 pounds.
We've got Josh Colello here, the younger Colello brother. Has a really good career. Look at those bottom legs of that Colello boy. He's got one heck of a stern build. He's a beast. Currently 10-3. Finished 6th at Powerade this year. In for a quick takedown. Shows his strength early. And I believe Colello got a late start this year. I think he's judged by those legs and thighs. It's not hard to tell that he's a football player. I think he broke his arm in late football season. Probably caused a little bit of early conditioning problems. But in wrestling shape, made a strong comeback and has a really strong appearance early with a 10-3 record for the Cedar Cliff Colts.
Okay, and it's Colello taking on Evan Morrell of Lower Dauphin.
Evan Morrell, only a sophomore. However, Morrell appears to be one other quality young guy coming up as well. From what I've got on the records here, he's 2-0 based upon my stat sheet. Colello clearly the aggressor. Well, I'll tell you something. Out of these early matches here, we've seen some good wrestling. And boy, that was really nice. Textbook inside. High crotch, lift, good angles, taking him down to the mat for a 4-1 lead. Colello on top, keeping the weight on, keeping the pressure up front. Now block the head. He's going to attempt to lace the arm here. If he can get the arm in the air and lace it, he's got to keep it legal, working around for a half. This is tight, ladies and gentlemen. I wouldn't be surprised. 17 seconds to go. He ends in a fall.
Cedar Cliff's Josh Colello, the pin at 182. You're watching High School Sports Live on ABC 27, presented by PHFA.
You don't think about physical therapy until you need it. When you do, see your doctor and ask for First Choice Rehabilitation Specialists and Select Physical Therapy. First Choice and Select PT lead the way in providing exceptional patient care and unmatched customer service. Call 717-558-4333 today to schedule an appointment at one of 15 locations throughout Greater Harrisburg. First Choice and Select Physical Therapy, the power of physical therapy.
Back at Cedar Cliff High School, that pin by Josh Colello at 182 has given the Colts the lead. They are now back in front by a score of 12-6. So we move on to 195 pounds now. A good match here. This is Troy Spencer of Lower Dauphin. He in the royal blue with the white trim on the thighs, taking on Austin Shires of Cedar Cliff. Again, those of you just tuning in, Cedar Cliff in the light blue uniforms tonight. Not their traditional dark blue that they made so famous over the years.
Austin Shires, 10-2 record, has wrestled a lot at heavyweight this year, so is experienced with the upper weights. Tonight wrestling at 220 versus Troy Spencer. Troy Spencer is a senior from Lower Dauphin, trying to go out here not to give up any bonus points versus a quality wrestler in Austin Shires. Austin Shires, again, looking like he's keeping square, maintaining good position, working position on the inside, pummeling on the inside right now, working heads back and forth.
And if you're a football fan out there, folks, and you followed the magical season that Lower Dauphin had this year, getting to the state semifinals, you might recognize this name, Troy Spencer. He was the quarterback, folks. He was the man that made that Falcon offense run. And he just had a phenomenal season, as did the rest of the Falcons. So congratulations again to Coach Rob Clark and the Falcon football team for just a remarkable year getting to the state semifinals. But obviously a different sport right now, and things not really going Spencer's way.
Well, I'll tell you something. I've got respect for any quarterback that gets out on the wrestling mat. He's the quarterback I want on my team. I mean, he's clearly in good shape. He's a strong kid, and the skills that he learns and the conditioning and wrestling really will help him on the football field. Spencer earning a 1-point escape.
So into the first period, Shires with a 2-1 lead for Cedar Cliff.
See a replay here. Trying to go for a near cradle. Spencer showing some strength, spreading out and facing the wrestler to earn 1-point escape. Shires selecting the defensive position at the start of the second period. I don't know about you, but it looks like Spencer is clearly the lighter guy of the two. Spencer tonight weighing at 172.4. Shires weighing in at 195.2. He's wrestling almost up one full weight class. And Shires has been an experienced wrestler for the Colts. Somebody that's kept them solid last year throughout the year, and somebody they're expecting big things from this year at his weight class. Both guys going head to head.
George, I think some of the wrestling fans think that as you go up in weight class and the wrestlers get bigger, that the action tends to slow down a little bit, that it's not the little lightweight guys scampering all over the mat. Is that necessarily the case?
It is, and you don't want to get caught underneath. In this case, Spencer, I said he's about 11 pounds lighter than Shires. You don't want to get caught underneath trying to take a shot where you put yourself in a bad position. The one thing I will say about heavyweights, there may not be as much action, but when it is, it's like the heavyweights in boxing, there's usually a knockout.
Fast and furious, and it happens quickly, right?
Yep. It just doesn't happen as frequently as it does in the lower weights. And again, this is exactly what I was saying. Spencer now has to bear that entire weight. Shire's using it to his advantage, keeping his head pinned to the mat. Spencer doing a great job of staying in good position, staying out from underneath, scooting his hips around. Now they're back up on their feet in a neutral position.
And in the second period, let's take another look at some of the action from period right there.
Yep, again, attempting to try to use a front headlock and spin around. And it thwarted off pretty good by a quarterback who you don't see normally on the wrestling mat.
At least not at one of the upper weight classes.
Yep. Nice. Wrist control, controlled the wrist, got his hips away, got his arm between the body to earn one. Now back in on the single leg, but immediately you see that weight being pressed onto Spencer. Hard to finish a move when you're giving up 11 pounds.
We approach a minute and a half to go, third period. It's Austin Shires with a 3-2 lead over Troy Spencer.
Spencer, again, still being the aggressor, though. Moving forward all the time. Despite the weight disadvantage, he is the aggressor in this match. He wants to go out here and prove not only is he good on the football field, but he can make an impact on the wrestling mat as well. Shires needs to be careful here. He's blocking on the inside, making 0 attempts, trying to tie up the head, tie up the neck. If he doesn't move forward and if he doesn't promote action, boy, as I say it, Larry Steele, right on cue, call stalling.
Does he have like an earpiece in? Is he listening to us tonight?
He's an official I've worked a lot with, and I'll tell you, he's a quality official. A quality official, somebody who I'd want to officiate a big-time match. He understands what to look for and has seen a lot of wrestling over his time.
Still a one-point match, 41 seconds left. Shires leading Spencer 3-2.
Boy, Larry Steele has done one heck of a job tonight, promoting the action, forcing both wrestlers to continue to compete and engage in wrestling, not allowing anybody to drag and not promote the action. Again, you got Shires here blocking on the inside, just pressing forward, but not really doing a whole lot. Spencer needs to be the aggressor here. He's got a shot at tying this thing up if he's the aggressor, but again, Shires using his weight to push on him.
One move can win it either way. Closing seconds. Shires trying to hang on.
He called it. There it is. I'll tell you something. Larry Steele.
Seconds left.
Not afraid to make that call at the end either. That was a great call, Larry Steele.
So now we go to a 1-minute overtime.
He's going to force the wrestlers to win it on the mat.
George, briefly, what happens in overtime here?
1 minute, sudden death, first takedown or point scored will win. If there's no point scored, it goes to 2:30 seconds, where the cumulative score at the end of those 2:30-second periods will be the winner.
Do the stalling warnings carry over?
They do. Well, they do when you talk about penalty points in the end, but they don't carry over because it's not a penalty point in the overtime period.
Okay.
So, however, if Shires is called for stalling again, it'll be 2 points, he loses the match. In this case, Spencer has no stalling warnings and is not in fear of giving up any points.
18 seconds left, overtime, 195.
Shires needs to understand he's given up 2 points for stalling. He needs to continue to be the aggressor or could lose from another stalling warning.
10 seconds.
Looks like we're going to go into 2:30 seconds if I can explain quickly. The referee will flip the coin. The individual who wins gets the choice of top, bottom, or defer. In this case, Shires wins the toss and selects the defensive position. And again, earning these points could be critical. You continue to wrestle through these 30 seconds regardless if anybody scores.
So 30 seconds on the clock, and here we go with period number 5 in this wrestling match.
Shires earning an escape, going up 4-3. And again, there will be one more 30-second period following this, where Spencer is given the opportunity to select the position. I suspect he'll choose the defensive position to try to tie it up again.
George, I asked you earlier about 30 seconds left in the third period. How much are your lungs screaming? Now we're another minute and a half beyond that, so these guys are just about spent, aren't they?
They're yelling at the top of their lungs.
30 seconds back on the clock, period number 6, 195. Shires leading Spencer.
Spencer on his feet. He earns the escape. We need to go back to the first points scored in this match. If there's no points scored here, the person who scored the first point gets the option of the choice in the final 30-second sudden death.
Both guys just trying to survive. Coming up to 5 seconds left.
Referee Larry still checking with the table to determine who scored the first points. It's been determined that Shires scored the first points.
The first point scorer of the match. He's going to take the down position.
Yep. Folks,
there's the escape there that tied it at 4 to keep us going.
The person who scores here wins. If the offensive wrestler remains in control, he wins. The defensive wrestler gets out, the match is over. And he does.
There it is. Austin Shires, overtime, defeats Troy Spencer of Lower Dauphin. You're watching High School Sports Live on ABC 27, presented by PHFA. Back at Cedar Cliff High School, the host Colts open up a 15-6 lead over the Falcons of Lower Dauphin. And we had a malfunction with the clock, so we reset it at 2 minutes. And we get set to go.
Dave Wiesner from Lower Dauphin, a senior this year with a 16-1 record. Only had one loss in a sudden overtime victory, or a sudden overtime loss at the Mannheim tournament. In right now on a bear hug, takes him directly to his back, starts to count the back points. Not in a position to pin, but he's earned 5 points at the opening of the match. Now, with a chicken wing, flips over to the upside.
It's Damian Noker of Cedar Cliff.
That's potentially dangerous.
Dave Wiesner's been just about unstoppable this year, taking on Damian Noker. And it's all Wiesner so far. .39 seconds in, he has a 5-0 advantage.
Yeah, and working really good from the top. He's good at the top position. Again, he breaks the wrestler down, puts in a wing on one side, searching for the other arm as a base.
George, you said he's good at the top. What do you mean by that?
In the offensive position, he's able to score points by breaking down his opponent and moving him into the criteria for near fall. And ultimately, he's also a finisher. He can pin the other guy. So he's been good at earning bonus points for a Lower Dauphin team at that weight.
And some guys are better on the top in the offensive position, and some actually wrestle better in the defensive position on the bottom.
And then you always have to be good from the neutral position. It all comes back to your feet at some point, and trying to earn those takedowns are essential to a victory. But in this case, what do we got? Blood time. Blood time on Damian Noker. In a match, you get 5 minutes of blood time. This is the only sport that we clean it up, stuff your nose up, and try to get you back there as quickly as possible.
Yeah. From our angle here at the table, you could actually see a little bit of blood on the back of Noker's singlet.
It's bad when his own nose is bleeding and you see the blood on his back. That means it's been smeared around a little bit.
It had to get there somehow. And let's give some kudos, George, to the medical staff that are at all the events like this. I mean, we've already seen the trainer out here. We've seen Dr. Blacksmith out here. These are the people that really keep these things going and keep these wrestlers out here.
I'll tell you, they're unsung heroes, and they work long hours. They're always at a sports event, and I'll tell you, the ones who are critical and are able to do the job on a wrestling mat, they're like the cut guy in the corner of boxing. They want to get you fixed up. They want to get you back on the mat. And again, you don't want any communicable diseases. They clean up all of the blood on the mat and the wrestlers with disinfectant. And in this case, you don't see them much, and that's a good thing. And when you do, they're only out here for a short time getting the wrestlers back into action. And no one better than Doc Blacksmith over here at Cedar Cliff.
So we're back underway. Just under 30 seconds to go, opening period at 220 pounds.
David Strong, I mean, he stopped this kid just with a tight waist and earned 2 points. That's tough to do when you're in the upper weights.
He's now opened up a 7-0 advantage with those 3 back points.
And you see from the top position, you want to carry the other guy's weight the whole time. You're forcing him to get up, use all that energy, keep the weight up front towards the head. And Wiesner really does a good job of that.
So after a fast and furious 39 seconds of this match, things kind of settle down, but then Wessner comes back with a 3-point move here late in the first period to open up a 7-0 advantage. So he's 1 point away from a major decision, which would give the Falcons 14 points. So we move to period number 2.
Wiesner again in, bear hug, throw by.
He's saying toes out, and Dave just kind of looked back and kind of put the toe back in.
Yeah. We've got an injury timeout here. Wiesner in on a tight bear hug, twisted the Cedar Cliffs wrestler around.
Let's take another look at that move.
Look, tight bear hug, does it on the side, twists him around, and you see the little twist.
Yeah, landed on the, looked like his knee, and it drove the thigh back up into his body. And heavyweight wrestlers are a tough lot, so Damien Noker's going to continue.
Wiesner again in. Doesn't want to get caught underneath. Stops the spin, puts his head in good position, comes up with a headlock. Comes up with a headlock spot. Doesn't get the headlock. Doesn't really earn it there. Cedar Cliff fans very upset, but Wiesner comes around to earn the 2. More blood time. Damien Noker from Cedar Cliff again, bleeding from the nose. The training staff and the docs are back out, taking a look, trying to get back up.
Looks like his lip.
I think his whole face is bloody at this point. He had a nose and a lip.
Yeah, it's a cut lip. Now, the blood time, is that different than the injury time?
It is. Blood time, there's no penalty for. You can take as many blood timeouts as you need. The key is you don't want to have the blood out there and risk any kind of communicable disease or anything to be able to transfer back from wrestler to wrestler. You're given 5 minutes of blood time, and how it works from the official standpoint. Once the cleanup is done, you clean up and you address the injury, you stop the bleeding, you show the official will stop the blood time, and then it becomes just the cleanup. But again, cumulative total of 5 minutes for blood time.
So just to recap, we are at 220 pounds. We started at 152 tonight. 5 matches complete. Cedar Cliff's been victorious in 4 of them. The one for Lower Dauphin was a stunning pin by Bailey Shutt at 160 over Jake Colello. So on the big scoreboard, the host Colts leading the Falcons 15-6. In this match, it's been all Dave Wiesner. He's on top of Damian Noker 9-0.
And making Noker earn every trip back up to his knees, forcing the weight up front, rolling the wrists underneath, forcing the weight forward, doing everything you need to ride strongly from the top.
George, when you're on the bottom like this and things aren't going your way, and does like time just kind of stand still?
Well, you know what?
Is it like time can't go by fast enough to get out of here?
If I, as a coach and as a father and as a wrestler, getting out from the bottom is a matter of will. There is nobody that should hold you down from the bottom position. Now, there are good top wrestlers. I had a coach at Bloomsburg, Roger Sanders, at 55 years old. He was tough at locking up your wrists and ankles, but what you need to do is free your wrists, gain wrist control of the other guy, separate, give yourself space from the body, and get out. And there's no one. It's really demoralizing and takes all your energy out if somebody continues to grind on you from the bottom position. Not only does it exhaust you, it really puts your spirit and yourself out of a match. Getting out from the bottom truly is a matter of will.
Coming to the end of the second period, Dave Wiesner of Lower Dauphin, a 9-0 lead over Damian Noker. And joining us here at Matt's side is Jeremy Elliott from the Harrisburg Patriot News and Penn Live. And welcome back again. A lot of cadoos after the action we had the last Thursday night, huh?
That's typical Central Dauphin, Cumberland Valley, and would expect nothing else.
And we got a good one going so far here. A lot of interesting matches early on.
Very physical teams. That's Kamal Pegram bringing that style to Lower Dauphin. And you can see it in this match. I mean, they're down 15-6, but they've been very physical. A big win by Bailey Shutt over Jake Colello. That's a huge win. And you can see Wiesner here kind of tenderizing Noker a little bit.
And drawing blood in the process.
Yeah.
You mentioned Kamal Pegram, the Lower Dauphin coach. Coming in, are you seeing his stamp on things? And is he putting his own signature on this storied program?
Absolutely. Watching the first 5 matches, they're physical. They're in your face. I know there were a couple stall calls the last match. I didn't really understand them. I've seen a lot worse. But it's been consistent, so, I'm okay. But they're in your face. They're physical. Not backing down. That's vintage Kamal Pegram. When he was at Big Spring, he brought that to a very talented team, and he helped take them to states. So, he's going to continue to put his stamp on this program, and you're going to see them get better and better, and then become more accomplished, in that style.
And we're close to our first potential tech fall of the night. So we're playing the 2-for-1 game here. Wiesner taking Noker down for 2 and then giving up the point right here. Another escape point.
Trying
the opportunity to get 2 more.
Trying to spin around here with 20 seconds to go. Earning 2. He's got to get 1 more.
1 more point. 1 more takedown will do it. Nine seconds left.
Looks like more blood.
Looks like we have another stoppage.
Lower Dauphin needs a tech fall or a pin here. Absolutely imperative they get it. Going to 285, making the turn and coming up through the order. Because if this comes down to the last match, if this is close at the end, Cedar Cliff has a big advantage with Max Good sitting at 145 the rest of the last match. I'd probably buy each of you a steak dinner if he didn't win.
I'm
going to write that one down just in case. I mean, stranger things have happened, so you never know.
With my schedule today, all I had was a hot sausage.
I saw you eat that hot sausage.
And I promised this tonight. I spent all day away. Yesterday we celebrated. It's my wife's birthday today. So I told her I'd get a shout out on the screen. Hi Sasha. And I'm sorry I'm not with you, but I will tell you I did give you the shout out on the screen, and we celebrated.
And
yesterday.
you didn't bring her to celebrate tonight.
I know you guys would much rather see her than me.
I don't know. I saw you wolf down that sausage. It stood no chance.
And that sausage was my only meal of the day.
It looked like it was your only one for a week.
Let me tell you something.
You weren't trying to make weight today, were you?
No, a sausage and a guy from Stilton.
No chance.
No chance.
Was it a Schmitz sausage, though?
Schmitz, it was not a Schmitz.
Yeah.
Okay.
You can't get better sausage than Schmitz.
You cannot get better sausage than Schmitz. I will agree with you there, Jeremy.
Gratuitous plug.
Time running out. Can Wiesner get the 2 points necessary to get the tech fall? You got to pop his head. Time is out. Nope, doesn't quite do it. Dave Wiesner, 17-3 winner at 220 pounds. You're watching High School Sports Live on ABC 27, presented by PHFA.
Advanced Hoop's biggest goal has been to raise the culture of training and development in this region. Working with youth coaches, junior high coaches, high school coaches, and even more so, college coaches in the last 5 years. We're seeing a rise in the talent level of players all over the area. Programs like ours are making a difference. We're just proud to be part of that culture of training that's growing strong in the Harrisburg area.
Under a new state law, all electronics must be recycled.
Welcome to the Dauphin County Recycling Center, where recycling is quick, easy, and free.
You may recycle appliances or even cell phones.
We're open 6 days a week, and recycling is as easy as 1, 2, 3.
Contact our helpful staff at the Recycling Center or visit our website for more information.
Help us protect our planet, because tomorrow does matter.
Back at Cedar Cliff High School, we move on to 285 pounds now. For Lower Dauphin, it's going to be Nathan Bucks.
Versus Joseph Bortz.
J.J. Bortz for Cedar Cliff.
Bucks, a sophomore, weighing in at 220 pounds. Bortz from Cedar Cliff, a senior, bringing in a solid record here of 4-1.
He weighed in at 198. So that win at 220 by Wiesner by Lower Dauphin stopped the bleeding, no pun intended, as the Colts had won 3 straight matches. So it makes the team score now 15-10. Nice move by Bortz. First points of this match. He takes an early 2-0 lead.
Grinding on the top already. Bucks needs to get his head off the mat. He's going to get turned here if he doesn't get his head up. Too much weight forward. You can't put your head down in a position with a heavyweight like this.
This is a perfect case of technique being better than just weight. He's given up a lot of weight here, and it just doesn't seem to matter. Just technically better at this point. Lower Dauphin needs to make something happen here. They really needed to get a tech fall or a pin from Wiesner. Good job by Noaker, sort of kind of just holding it to a major. Say every point's big.
Wiesner made every attempt to get those bonus points.
He did.
Just ran out of time there at the end.
Well, he also had his momentum. I mean, the stoppages, not by Noaker's fault. It happened. It's just a circumstance, and kind of breaks your momentum, and you can't really put moves together.
Coming to the end of period number 1 at 2:85. J.J. Bortz of Cedar Cliff with a 2-0 lead over Nathan Bucks of Lower Dauphin.
Here's a takedown.
Here's the move that gave him that 2-0 lead.
Switches the leg. Oh, actually, you don't see a takedown like that too often.
No.
That wasn't great technique, but it certainly worked. He did a shift to the outside and pulled the leg back in and really just muscled him across. But that's, folks, don't copy that at home.
Well,
that's not an easy one.
The bottom line is tomorrow, whenever you're reading Jeremy's recap, it doesn't matter how it happened. It happened.
There's no scores in the Patriot. No, there's no pictures of the match.
No, not tonight anyway. Although we did have a picture of that takedown that wasn't a takedown last week, and it ended up on websites everywhere.
I took a lot of crap for being tough on the officials last week, but I will tell you, there were some clear takedowns, clear misses last week.
Yep.
And I know you came in early and were questioning some of the stalling calls. I think Larry Steele actually was right on the mark with those earlier stalling calls. He was consistent, promoted the action, and forced both wrestlers to work.
I don't mind it so much because he was consistent and he hit both sides. I just thought the one at the end, I thought Shires was being pushed more. I mean, you could actually see his foot sliding on the mat. He wasn't backing up. I thought that was one that wasn't warranted. But we can agree to disagree.
We can.
I've seen a lot worse let go.
Everybody has their opinion. Everybody in this building has their opinion, but it's the man in the striped shirt. It's his opinion that counts, right?
That being said, he's being consistent, and that's all you can ask for.
It's interesting. We've been talking here, and every time I said the defensive wrestler has to be careful, he's starting to back away. Larry Steele puts up the stalling call.
And that's all you can ask for, because every wrestler sitting on the bench is watching this. They got to know that that's how he's calling it, and at that point, I have no problem with it.
And I prefer to see a referee call it that way than to allow guys to not have to force the action, stand there, play the edge, continue to back away, and allow that kind of wrestling to actually have a chance of winning the match.
Absolutely. I can't agree with you more. It's just seeing so many matches, the inconsistency between different matches and different officials. But he's been on it. I mean, tonight he's been consistent. And he's called it the same both ways. You can't ask for more.
20 seconds, second period. It's Bortz still on top by a count of 2-0.
Bortz tasted the mat a lot. He's got his head flat down on the mat. He's not doing anything to
I'm
escape.
surprised he hasn't been hit here.
Me too.
I mean,
it won't be long.
Yeah.
End of period number 2 at 2:85. J.J. Bortz of Cedar Cliff, a 2-0 lead over Nathan Bucks of Lower Dauphin.
I'm actually surprised the score is still 2-0.
Yeah.
I thought Bortz has controlled it pretty much. I mean, takedown wasn't the greatest takedown. It wasn't textbook by any stretch, but I think he's controlled the action on top, and I'm really surprised it's only 2-0. I mean, this has got to be a win for LD, who normally probably would give up a forfeit.
And I'll tell you something. It won't be long before Larry Steele calls him for stalling.
He should have called him for stalling already. And I think what bothered me about the Shires-Spencer match was neither wrestler took a shot. I would have hit them both probably 8 times. But I'm not an official, and I don't want your job. Never would I want that job.
I don't have it anymore. I can sit here and critique.
Yeah, but you got to come back. I can't wait till you come back. It's entertaining.
I've got kids that are 5. It's going to take a while for them to get through high school.
My ultimate fantasy is to see you commentating while you're actually officiating.
You know, that actually occurred in that movie Takedowns and Falls.
Yes.
They had me mic'd up while I was officiating in the pre-match routine, and that was pretty entertaining.
So then we can sit here and criticize, how come he's not calling that? You can say, well, because of this, guys. I mean, wouldn't that be interesting?
I need an earpiece and a mic out there.
I think the commentary might change a little bit.
Well, and I'm sure the fans won't agree.
Under a minute to go, 2:85.
Fans don't ever understand the stall.
There it is, nice. Now that was textbook.
Yep.
Clear the arm,
Bortz with a
drive and
takedown.
power through, takes him right to his back. Going to earn near fall points here.
A big move there. Goes from 4-1. He's going to get the pin possibly.
He doesn't have him in a good pinning position. He needs to come over that arm. Not having it in that position, you can't just hold him inside arm. You need to come and put a half or a reverse half in there and then try to climb up parallel. That was not a good pinning position.
Big 5-point move by Bortz. Puts
Especially
himself
when you're giving up that much weight.
for a major decision here. Oh, but he gives it up. 10 seconds left.
Wow.
He needs to get 2.
That was a mistake. No, it wasn't.
Gets it anyway. 2 seconds
J.J.
left.
Bortz comes through in the clutch. Gets a major decision at 2:85. You're watching High School Sports Live on ABC 27, presented by PHFA.
No matter the season, when it's time to gear up, you've got to get to Kelly's Sports. Kelly's Sports. Top quality sports equipment for the field, the rink, the court, and more. Matched with the experience and knowledge to help you get the winning edge. Plus all the latest styles from Nike, Adidas, and Under Armour. And the large selection of name brand athletic footwear. Local sports team members get 10% off all purchases. Kelly's Sports. In the High Point Commons, Harrisburg. Or visit online at kellysports.com.
106 pounds as we make the switch over from the heavyweights now down to the lightweights. Cedar Cliff on top of Lower Dauphin, 19-10 in this big battle as far as Mid-Penn Keystone Division is concerned. The winner of this takes the outright lead in the division and becomes the odds-on favorite to win the division championship. So we are going now to 106 pounds, and for Cedar Cliff, it's Luis Tirado, and he is being opposed by Peter Mumaw of Lower Dauphin.
Peter Mumaw, it seems like, has a flawless record here according to records. Both young guys, Tirado, ninth grader, Mumaw, a sophomore. A must-win for Lower Dauphin.
Cedar Cliff has high hopes for Tirado. I know Coach Rob Rapsey has talked highly of him. A pretty strong worker in the room, and they think he can really come along as the year goes on. He can come along and solidify the lower weights.
Okay,
he looks good so far. Really the aggressor, and on a nice single leg, tries to lift, brings him down to the mat for the first two.
So we make the turn from the heavyweights to the lightweights at the halfway point after 7 matches. Cedar Cliff on top, 19-10. Is that how you guys thought this would play out so far?
Yes.
Yeah, pretty close.
With the exception of the Colello match, which was big bonus points.
Yeah, I didn't
Casey
expect.
Shutt.
Yeah, I mean, both good wrestlers. I didn't expect Jacob to get pinned.
He put a real damper on the potential for his 100th victory tonight.
Ooh.
But again, Casey Shutt, a good young wrestler. Solid.
Oh, Bailey, yeah.
Bailey Shutt.
Yeah, Bailey Shutt is a good
Did he have
wrestler.
a brother, Casey?
No, his brother was Blaine.
Blaine, okay.
Yeah, Bailey brought a 13-3 mark in here. Obviously, no slouch. Kind of Rapsey's thinking probably backfired there a little bit. And there's a big win for Shutt. It'll go a long way to seeding and for sectionals and then moving on to districts if both wrestlers make it. Cedar Cliff has the advantage, I think, the rest of the way. Pretty solid through the lower weights. Kind of green, a little young, but definitely accomplished wrestlers. And again, when they get to 145, they have max good.
Yep.
And that just, it's a lot to ask for Lower Dauphin to overcome him.
2-1 lead, Luis Tirado of Cedar Cliff, the advantage.
Tirado again on another single leg. He's trying to run the pipe. Going back down to the ankle, attempting to secure the ankle. He's going to come up in a better position here. Not enough time to earn the takedown.
So Tirado takes a 2-1 lead to the second period at 106 pounds. Again, it's determined by the flip as to who gets the advantage or start in what position to start the second period.
Tirado choosing the defensive position to start the second period. Again, when you ask from the bottom position, you can't let anybody underneath your arms. You got to figure out a way to box it out, get hands, wrist, and create space and get away, which Tirado demonstrated clearly. Back in
right
on the
back
single leg.
And a 2-point takedown.
That's all tenacity there. Just, you escape, you just go right after.
But a good example of how you do escape from the bottom. Put 2 and 3 moves together, get the wrist, control them, create some space, get away. Immediately after getting away, comes right in on a single leg, switches to a double and earns another 2 points.
Can understand why Rapsey likes Tirado a lot.
I'm starting to see why now. First time I've seen Tirado this year. Got several losses though this year.
Yeah, he's young. I mean, you get in that whole freshman thing. I think, it's two things can happen to a freshman at high school. You're coming from PJWs in the junior high ranks. You either come in like a house of fire and then, you kind of drop off a little bit because the season's kind of a grind. Or you maybe come in and you're a little in awe of the bright lights. And then you kind of maybe start getting it in January after the individual tournament season. Obviously, they were at Powerade, a big tournament. They were at a Beast of the East. Those are two big stages for a freshman. Unless you're a superstar freshman coming out of PJWs, that's kind of tough to excel in those two tournaments. They're two of the biggest tournaments on the East Coast and in the country. So I think maybe now that he's out of that, took some lumps, it looks like he's better for it.
He looks like he's a really aggressive wrestler. Keeps himself in great position, working strong from all three spots. From the top position, he's clearly been in control. From the bottom, his will and putting good moves together allowed him to get free, and he's shown some great balance and the ability to complete the moves from his feet.
And he's offsetting Mumaw's length. I mean, I think Mumaw's a little taller. I think you'd agree. I think length is a big component to maybe holding the guy down, getting legs in, and he just hasn't been able to take advantage of it against the aggressive Tirado.
So Tirado is up 5-1 as we complete the second period at 106 pounds. And Tirado's also going to start the third period down in the defensive position. So we're ready for the final 2 minutes.
Why not?
Well, I really don't think the Lower Dauphin wrestler liked eating the mat for a minute and a half. Tirado out immediately, earning an escape.
Mumaw's got to be careful here. Tirado took him down pretty easy. He's got to worry about giving up a major or even, getting planted on his back. It seems like Tirado has the capability to do a power move and just drop him.
Mumaw with a bloody nose, going to have to go to the sidelines to get the bleeding stopped.
Okay, while we have this blood time, let's take a break. You're watching High School Sports Live on ABC 27, presented by PHFA.
Hi, sweetheart.
Hey, you two. It's dinner time.
When Marcus and Michelle were starting their family, they came to the Pennsylvania Housing Finance Agency for their home loan. We're proud we could help Marcus, Michelle, and Mia. If you're looking for an affordable home loan or refinancing option, give us a call. We offer down payment and closing cost assistance too. Call us weekdays 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. or check our website. We're the Pennsylvania Housing Finance Agency. We help home ownership dreams come
Andy,
true.
You had a choice to make. Holiday lights, the snowman, or that thing, which is scary. But you threw Muller out and said, I want and. Because you don't go for choices. You go for greatness. So you go with Pizza Hut's Big Dinner Box. Get 2 medium one-topping pizzas, breadsticks, and pick from wings, rollers, pasta, or now a third pizza for just $19.99. And get any other delicious pizza for $10. All hail Andy, the king of the cul-de-sac. Go for greatness, people. Pizza. Make it great.
Back at Cedar Cliff High School, it's Lower Dauphin taking on the host Colts. We have a stoppage for some blood cleanup here at the 106-pound match. That was Peter Mumaw of Lower Dauphin. There you can see the gauze sticking out of the nose. That was the reason for that stoppage. He trails Louis Tirado of Cedar Cliff by a count of 6-1. We are early in the third period at 106 pounds.
She's getting a workout tonight.
Yeah, Jess is earning her pay tonight. I'll say that.
John was talking earlier about the unsung heroes, the trainers and the docs.
Yeah.
Really are. They're like cutting men and women in the corner of boxing. Figure out a way to clean it up, address some pretty bad situations, and get them back out there as quickly as possible.
Well, and having to check them, too, for concussion. There's a whole nother layer to this nowadays with all the concussion stuff going around.
You saw the illegal slam earlier.
I did.
There's no one better who's seen more wrestling or has an eye for exactly what to look for than Doc Blacksmith. If he's in the house, you know it's going to be done right.
So we're back under action. Action is back underway at 106 pounds. Tirado with a 6-1 lead over Mumaw. As we start the second half of bouts here
Tirado
tonight.
in on a nice thing. Again.
Double to a single.
And it was a counter.
Yeah.
Came in and shot, immediately back in on the legs, running the pipe. Got to get rid of the wizard. He does. 8-1.
So now he's in position for a potential major
Smart.
victory.
Smart cuts him. He's going to go for the bonus points.
Again, talking about major decisions, you get 3 points for a win if you win by 7 points or fewer. 8 points to 14-point margin in your match. It's a major decision. You get 14 points. If you open up a 15-point lead, that's a technical fall. 15 points. And, of course, the pin, the big one, you get 6 points for that.
Corrado in on another single leg.
Uh-oh.
A desperation move by Mumal. Finds himself in a bad spot. He hopes he doesn't give up. Only 4. Corrado now deep.
They just muscled him over.
He was in really good position there. Tight chest to chest. Mumal doing a good job of slipping the arm through, getting back to his base.
So that makes it now 13-2 as we hit the 22nd mark.
I'm really surprised Mumal got off his back there. Toronto had that locked in pretty well.
Toronto made a mistake by trying to readjust, and as he did, he left space for Mumal's arm to slide through.
Credit Mumal for not giving up wrestling. Let's just keep wrestling here. Right to the whistle. Another Kamal Pegram trait.
Louis Toronto from Cedar Cliff, the winner at 106 pounds by a score of 13-2. You're watching High School Sports Live on ABC 27, presented by PHFA.
Today, we have some breaking news on the West Shore. Some spraining, twisting, popping news. It appears that Mechanicsburg is getting a state-of-the-art OSS orthopedic urgent care. This is what we know so far. OSS urgent care is much faster than the emergency room. All patients will be seen by orthopedic experts. Costs are typically less. And OSS is open 7 days a week. Remember, if you have a sprain, pop, or break to report, go right to the experts. OSS Orthopedic Urgent Care. 2 great locations, York and now Mechanicsburg. Now that's some good news.
Back at Cedar Cliff High School, we move on to 113 pounds. Cedar Cliff now with a commanding 23-10 lead, but still a long way to go in this one. So we move to 113. I believe this is going to be Chase Mater of Lower Dauphin.
McGee.
And Connor McGee of Cedar Cliff.
Mater?
Yes.
Mater and McGee.
Yep.
Connor McGee is sophomore. Chase Mater is sophomore. Mater qualifies based upon his weight for the 106-pound weight class, bumping up here at 113. Wrestling Connor McGee with a solid 7-4 record. Mater squeezing out, cross-facing, earning 2. Working very hard for that first 2-point takedown. Now working a far side cradle. He had it locked up. It looks like it's unlocked at the moment. Again, cross-face cradle. Now trying to scoop in the inside arm, twisting around, trapping the head at the front. Going back and forth.
According to my notes, these guys wrestled last year in this match, and Connor McGee was a 6-0 win over Chase Mater. That was at 106 pounds last year. McGee with the escape, so he now trails 2-1. As the first period is going to come to an end. And with that, we're going to say thank you to Jeremy Elliott of Patriot News and Penn Live. Thanks for sitting in, gentlemen.
Anytime.
We'll talk to you a little bit later.
Jeremy.
Yep. See you on Saturday.
Yep. Big one Saturday.
Absolutely.
Bermudian and Boiling Springs.
Yes.
At
Definitely.
Boiling Springs, you will have nothing but a raucous group waiting for probably one of the biggest matches in Pennsylvania in AA.
Yes, that will actually be probably one of the biggest definitely be the biggest matches we do this year. Top 2 teams in the district. I think they've met now in the finals for the District 3 finals, like 3 straight years now. And Boiling Springs is kind of has their number, has the Eagles' number right now.
I'll tell you one thing. If no one has ever been at a Bowling Springs, Bermudian Springs match, come out Saturday night.
Yeah.
You get a taste of what Central Pennsylvania
You won't
wrestling
be
is
able
about.
to hear yourself think. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, take care, Jeremy.
Chase Mader with the advantage here in the second period. It's a 2-1 count.
Connor McGee looking good from the top position. Cross wrist tilt, trying to earn 2 back points. 2 count by official Larry Steele. He's earned, it looks like, 2 points at least for a near fall.
Gives him 2, so that gives McGee the lead. It's now on top 3-2. Continues to attack.
Working the head again, far side wrist control. Tight waist. Good job by Mader, reversing a sit-out switch. Now he's attempting to throw legs. Got to be careful, he's too high here. Luckily he only gave up 1 and not 2.
So we're knotted at 4, closing second period, 113 pounds.
Mader's got to be careful here. He continues to back away. He's got to start to be more aggressive, or risk being called for stalling in a very, very hotly contested match.
Ended 2 periods. We're right back where we started from. Knotted. We are tied at 4-4. The final 2 minutes.
Chase Mader selecting the defensive position. Got to be careful here. Sat right back, and you never turn into that. Sat right back into that. Now is at risk of getting pinned. Good job of fighting off his back there. That was very close to being extra bonus points for Cedar Cliff.
At that move, that 2-point move for the back points is going to give McGee the lead. It's now 6-4.
You'd never turn into somebody who's got a half, and actually, that's one of the golden rules. You turn away. You never turn back into the wrestling. Now cross wrist tilt, trying to earn another 2. Not yet. Hasn't put him into criteria yet. Now the referee's counting. He's got 2.
Two more points on the board. It's now 8-4. 1 minute left. 113 pounds.
Connor McGee dominant from the top position here. In this third period, as it went in tied, 2 potential near fall situations. 1 could have resulted in bonus points. The other, cross wrist tilt. Now he's got the head trap, needs to be careful. Stays on the inside leg, works his way back around, maintains control. Bottom guy being warned for stalling at this point. The official there felt that power half was not a power half. He came in and clubbed him behind the head, calling that unnecessary roughness on Connor McGee. Connor McGee still in solid control with an 8-5 lead. 14 seconds remaining in the period. Chase Mader has to do something miraculous here and can't do it with his head on the mat.
And time is going to run out. So Connor McGee of Cedar Cliff, the winner at 113 by a count of 8-5. You're watching High School Sports Live on ABC 27, presented by PHFA.
It's always better when you get to pick your team. That's why I didn't just accept the regional health plan offered at work. I went to a Highmark Direct store and picked a more affordable plan with a broader network, one that I feel better with.
For the most value, you're better with Blue. We're reinventing affordable health care for today and for generations to come. For all you do, you're better with Highmark Blue Shield.
Back at Cedar Cliff High School, John Repitz along with George Hartwick, and we are joined by David Rung of the Carlisle Sentinel. Welcome back, David. We had you on last Thursday and have you back again tonight. Good to have you back at Matt's side with us.
I think we have Jordan Foreman versus Josh McLaughlin. Is that correct?
Yep, that's who those guys are.
Jordan Foreman of Lower Dauphin. And Josh McLaughlin of Cedar Cliff.
Jordan Foreman, a junior with a even 1-1 record. We've got Josh McLaughlin. Josh is a freshman, and Josh has a record of 5-4. Another good one of these freshmen coming up out of the junior high program that's going to add value to the lower weights of Cedar Cliff.
I already have a few of them there, freshmen, sophomores, young guys that are making a difference.
No points awarded yet. Foreman still with a wizard in. McLaughlin in really good position with the inside leg trapped. He needs to either loose arm it, limp arm it out, or try to collect the body in order to earn 2. Foreman doing a good job of keeping that wizard in, fending off the takedown and staying neutral with a 0-0 score. Both guys still feeling each other out. McLaughlin had a good early shot, was unable to complete it. Can't score much ear to ear. Referee Larry Steele appropriately calling a stalemate. Back to ear again. Very rarely do you see a takedown from this position. You need to free up your body, work an inside tie, get some space, and move the wrestler into a position you can attack. In this position, almost no points can be scored.
And we had no points scored in that opening 2 minutes. 120 pounds. Josh McLaughlin, Jordan Foreman. 0-0, we go to period number 2.
McLaughlin selecting the defensive position at the start of the second period. Working quickly to his feet. Foreman trying to go back to the leg, bringing him back down to the mat. Again, McLaughlin to his feet. Foreman bringing him back down to the mat. Foreman needs to be careful here. You got to do more than just ride. He's just got 2 arms underneath with no move at all to work towards any kind of turn.
McLaughlin keeps pushing him too, getting to his feet quick right off the restart, and it's gonna draw a stall call if you get it.
Yep, you need to work parallel, work towards a position that could earn you a tilt, not drop to the leg continuously. And again, Foreman riding parallel. He's done so for 45 seconds of this period. Really attempting no move that will earn him any kind of near fall points. On cue all night, every time I said it, Larry Steele's called him for stalling.
Your microphone must be off.
Temporarily, he awarded a escape, but no clear move away from the body to earn it.
Judge, I noticed Larry is talking to the participants a lot tonight. Sometimes you don't see officials talk as much. What would he be like telling the wrestlers?
He's communicating. I think a good wrestler does good preventive officiating. You can't coach, but you can let them know where they're at on the mat. I've got no takedown. I've got no clear neutral position. So there's no misunderstanding about what position they're at on the mat. So he's just clearly letting them know where they stand, and where the current positioning is to allow for the both wrestlers to be able to do what's necessary to earn points. And again, it won't be long. It won't be long for the top wrestler. Again, he drops to his leg again. He's got to do more than that. This is the only time I've seen Larry let it go for that long. Top wrestler still hanging on the ankle.
Crowd calling.
Cedar Cliff fans aren't happy, neither are the coaches.
So we head to the final 2 minutes. We are still scoreless at 120 pounds. Josh McLaughlin and Jordan Foreman. Earlier you were saying how that the first score of a match comes into play as far as potential overtime is concerned. Here, first score could be the winner.
It could be. No points scored thus far, so any points on the board will certainly give a distinct advantage. In this case, McLaughlin choosing to go neutral, giving up one escape point. This match will be won on his feet if he's going to. He has to take him down now to earn the victory. A lot of ear to ear. Right back there again.
There's been a couple like this, but most of the matches have
They've
a lot of
been good
action.
Yeah, a lot of action. This one, you know, any coach will tell you can't score from that position. You can't be ear to ear. You got to separate yourself. Both guys can block in there. No real opportunity for a lot of movement. Both guys stalling.
Both get stall warnings. George, if you can't score from that position, then why do wrestlers put themselves into it?
It's a safe spot to be at. I mean,
you can't give up points, but also you can't score points.
Can't score points. And again, they're right back to the same spot.
You can tell both coaches too, not too happy with the way that the wrestlers are going after it.
Under 50 seconds left.
Most of the time you see this from heavyweights, not from 120 pounders.
It's Jordan Foreman with that.
Oh!
Now he gets to take a 3-0 advantage.
And that was just a matter of a very poor execution by McLaughlin, attempting to go for a headlock in a poor position.
One point awarded to Josh McLaughlin.
Quick stalling call there.
So it's now a 3-1. Will time run out on him? 15 seconds left. At 120 pounds, Jordan Foreman of Lower Dauphin gets the Falcons' third victory of the night. You're watching High School Sports Live on ABC 27, presented by PHFA.
Chrysler, Jeep, Nissan. The Brenner family of dealerships is proud to support High School Sports Live. We've been serving Central PA for over 92 years and have everything that you're looking for when purchasing a vehicle. Great customer service, great pricing and selection, an excellent service department for the life of your vehicle. All at the Brenner family of dealerships on the Carlisle Pike Mechanicsburg and 24/7 at BrennerFamily.com. Serving Central PA for over 92 years.
Back at Cedar Cliff High School, Lower Dauphin remains alive. Jordan Foreman gets the Falcons' third win of the night, a 3-1 decision over Josh McLaughlin at 120. We have a forfeit awarded at 126.
Cody Wagner.
So now we are going to move on to 132 pounds. So that tightens it up a little bit more. It's now 26-19 on the scoreboard.
Who do we have at 32 here?
Stephen Ross for Cedar Cliff.
Calvin Nolt.
Calvin Nolt.
Calvin Nolt, senior wrestler at 132 pounds for the Falcons. Stephen Ross, a junior. Calvin Nolt coming in sporting an undefeated record. Stephen Ross, a solid 8-2. Could be a good matchup here, John.
Definitely an important one at this point, too.
Yeah.
There's 2 matches left, and it's still within 7 points.
It's a must-win for LD. Nice. No finish. Oh! Very nice. Get a replay of that one.
Nice move by Stephen Ross. Unfortunately, doesn't count on the scoreboard. Larry Steele said they were out of bounds.
I'm not in a good angle to see that one. That was close. Great job by Nolt there, getting in on a single leg. Tried to be aggressive in the finish. Ross merkled him right across to his back.
Yep.
And again, nice attempt at a single. High crotch. Boy, good wrestling, good counter.
.40 seconds left, opening period, 132. Ross and Nolt scoreless. Stay tuned, folks. Coming up, we will recap tonight's action on our CRIA post-match show.
Good matchup so far here. Calvin Nolt, the aggressor, in on both the single and a high crotch. Great job by Stephen Ross countering. 0-0 going towards the end of the first period.
And part of that post-match show will feature the Brenner Wrestler of the Match and the CRIA Move of the Match. So stay tuned for that.
And we're going to take a look at this replay here. We got Calvin Nolt in, nice on a high crotch. Attempts to bring him down, come on the outside, catches him, swings him around. Actually, good call. The inside foot there was out of bounds. Clearly a good call by official Larry Steele.
Good job, guys, on the camera work as you were able to see that. So now we go to second period at 132. Cedar Cliff leads by 7 on the scoreboard. And it's Calvin Nolt with a 1-0 advantage over Stephen Ross.
A must-win for the Falcons here if they want to stay in striking distance. 2 quality wrestlers here, both not giving up an inch. Calvin Nolt remains to be the aggressor. Stephen Ross looking really like a counter wrestler, a lot lankier, a little bit more leverage.
Right.
But let's talk strategy here, guys. Why do you think Coach Rapsey of Cedar Cliff elected to give up that forfeit and tighten things up to a 7-point match?
Because he probably felt, based upon this wrestler here, he has the best chance of winning and actually icing the match. And then you got Max Good to finish.
Yeah.
Which is a thumper.
Yeah, that's a nice one to have the last week, guys. Cedar Cliff has been giving up a forfeit throughout the season, somewhere in there, around 126, 132. So not too surprising to see it.
And I was talking to Stephen Ross's father. He happens to be the team statistician, sits at the scores table. I was talking to him before the match, and he said Stephen's been battling the weight this year to stay at 132, and one of the reasons is he's about their only option right there at that weight class. So
he's a big 32-pounder.
Yeah.
As you can see in comparison here, he's clearly the taller and bigger wrestler.
Stephen, a former cross-country runner here at Cedar Cliff, as well as a member of the track team.
Those cross-country runners are always good late in the third period.
Yeah, you get into that third mile, baby.
There's a lot of wrestlers that use that for the fall sport just for the conditioning, and
yeah,
and then they come into the season ready.
I'll tell you, going to Bloomsburg, we used to have to run 10 miles every morning, and I remember I never felt the runner's high.
Yeah.
I always felt my short legs battling to try to get through, and I think most of the times I finished with the heavyweights.
You were feeling the Hartwick low, right?
The Hartwick, there was no runner's high. It was a Hartwick low.
So we're going to go to the third period at 1:32. Calvin Nolt of Lower Dauphin, a 1-0 lead over Stephen Ross. Tightly contested battle. This one could swing things in Cedar Cliff's favor, or it could tighten it up once again a little bit closer for Lower Dauphin.
Stephen Ross in, fireman's carry, inside leg, nice.
He's got the two and takes the lead. Actually,
good execution.
It was Ross on top, 1-0. I'm sorry, not Nolt. So now he ups that advantage to 3-0.
See that fireman's carry, you take that elbow, you keep that tight inside the leg, and then you put every bit of weight on to dump the guy onto his hip, and he did that textbook. Now he's got the wrist locked in on one side, going to attempt to tilt.
Adams going to two. Oh, no, the official didn't.
He got two.
He got two for that.
Advantage, taller wrestler there.
Okay, George, explain the criteria there for getting the points on the back. How long do you have to have, and what has to happen?
You need to expose your back to a 90-degree angle at least for 2 seconds. After 2 seconds, it's a 2-point near fall. Once you've got a 5-second count, it's a 3-point near fall.
So that was a 2-point move by Stephen Ross, so he's now on top 3-0. 40 seconds left.
Referee still holding the 2 points, and that's important to note. Until you give up the hold, until you give up the wrist, the referee holds the point. They don't let him go back and forth.
So he's got two, so it's now 5-0.
Ross really looking good from the top position. He's going to earn at least 2 points here again in the near fall. Referee Larry Steele holding 3, which will give a major decision.
Stephen Ross of Cedar Cliff, an 8-0 winner at 132 pounds. You're watching High School Sports Live on ABC 27, presented by PHFA.
Chrysler, Jeep, Nissan. The Brenner family of dealerships is proud to support High School Sports Live. We've been serving Central PA for over 92 years and have everything that you're looking for when purchasing a vehicle. Great customer service, great pricing and selection, an excellent service department for the life of your vehicle. All at the Brenner family of dealerships on the Carlisle Pike Mechanicsburg and 24/7 at BrennerFamily.com. Serving Central PA for over 92 years.
Cedar Cliff on top of Lower Dauphin by a score of 30-19.
I believe Lee Castle.
He moved to 138 pounds.
Versus Clayton Gauze. Lee Castle from the storied and long line of Castle wrestlers coming out of Lower Dauphin School District. Former coach Cleon Castle developed one hell of a reputation for a storied program in Lower Dauphin.
2 matches to go. Cedar Cliff on top by 11, so Lower Dauphin still technically with a chance. Mathematically, it's still possible to pull this one out.
And this is going to be a good match as well. Clayton Gauze brings in a 7-3 record. And again, Lee Castle has been no stranger to the wrestling mat. Probably as a baby, they gave him a singlet and a pair of wrestling shoes.
You have families like that around here, obviously.
I'm one of
are the biggest one, yeah. Family members all wrestle, yeah.
My son was born, and the first thing I bought him was a pair of wrestling shoes. After 4 daughters, do you blame me?
How come you didn't get them in wrestling?
I don't want them on the mat with a boy. I don't want them anywhere with a boy. Especially not in close contact.
40 seconds left, opening period, 138. Goss and Castle.
Although
still scoreless.
I do want to note that Lower Dauphin has 2 quality girls wrestlers on their team. They're sisters, and both of them are very, very tough girls. Both lower weights, and let's see if they actually weighed in tonight.
No, I don't believe they did.
Okay.
And I saw one of them warming up with the team.
But it is possible, and I've officiated many girls in the past that have participated in boys wrestling.
Closing seconds, opening period, 138. And we are still scoreless, so we're going to go to period number 2. Again, stay tuned for our CRIA post-match show. It's coming up after the completion of this one and one more. 145, our last weight class of the night. That'll be coming up next. And part of that post-match show will be the Brenner Wrestler of the match. And our CRIA move of the match. So if you've been with us throughout the evening, you probably have your own opinions as to what those might be. So stick around and see if your opinion matches up with ours.
Clayton Gauze on the top position, maintaining pretty solid control. Lee Castle tasting a little of the Cedar Cliffs mat. Working opposite side wrist control. He needs to get his other arm free, get his head off the mat, create a little space to get out. So far, Clayton Gauze doing a good job of maintaining control through the first portion of the second period. He needs to work to the side here, however. Again, he's just riding in this position. It appears Lee Castle, he's got to get wrist control. He can't leave his arms hanging on the mat. Got to get wrist control like that, create some space and get out.
You guys were just under minutes to go in period 2, so it's Castle with the 1-0 lead.
Lee Castle shooting him off the mat. Clayton Gauze, another young wrestler here from Cedar Cliff.
Yeah, they have, I think, 6 or 7 that regularly see time. And I remember talking to Rob at the beginning of the season. He's saying that how far along they come is going to determine how good their team is this year. And so far, they look pretty good. Obviously, you don't have state placers out of freshmen and sophomores too often, so you don't that quality guys. But definitely, what makes a good dual team is not having holes, and they help this team not have any holes.
Well, and Jeremy was saying earlier how Powerade, Beast of the East, may tarnish your record as a freshman or sophomore early. Yeah. But how much does it allow you to grow and being able to step up to that level of competition and then come back and do a division match like tonight?
Right, yeah. This gym isn't scaring any of those freshmen and sophomores after they were at Beast of the East and Powerade.
Yep.
2 periods down at 138. Let's take another look at that. This was the
Clayton
escape.
Gauze. Again, you got to get wrist control, wrestlers at home. You got to secure those wrists. You can't have your arms hanging back. Create space before you're able to face the wrestler and earn a neutral.
So it's Castle with a 3-0 lead, early third period.
Gauze came strong with an attempt at a takedown late there in the second period, didn't earn it, and now in the defensive position starting out the third period. Castle, really a long wrestler, uses his leverage and his legs very well, forcing Gauze to carry his entire body weight. Keeping the back ankle hook now going for a far side cradle. He locks it up. He locks it up, puts him back on his back. At least earns 2 for a near fall. Good job by Lee Castle. Not only maintaining position, again, turns Gauze to his back, earns another 2-point near fall. Still has the inside leg trapped, which means Gauze is in a dangerous position, able to work it out. Castle now with a 7-0 lead.
Under a minute to go, third period.
I'll tell you something. Castle looks good from the top position.
Yeah, he does. He's going to need to turn him again because he needs, at least 5, which isn't probably going to happen. So he's going to need a 6 here to keep his team in it.
Castle again working a far side cradle. Got it locked up. He has it locked up. Now he needs to jump into the appropriate position, which he does right in between the legs. Earns another 2-point near fall, which spreads it to a major decision.
Just can't quite seem to keep it locked once he gets him turned over.
Good job by Castle, though. Manufacturing points from the top position. He's so long, it looks like he can lock up his arms from across the street.
Yeah. So we were talking about that off the air here, me and Jeremy, saying how long Lower Dauphin is, like almost his entire team. I think that match, the last one there with Ross, Cedar Cliff is the only guy that actually was longer than the Lower Dauphin guy wrestled.
Gives up an escape. Needs to now not give up a takedown at the end of this match. 1 second to go.
So Lee Castle of Lower Dauphin gets an 8-point win at 138 pounds. You're watching High School Sports Live on ABC 27, presented by PHFA.
In these cold, snow-covered days of winter, wouldn't it be great to escape? Hoffman Ford can't do much about the winter weather, but they can help you escape it in a 2014 Ford Escape SE 4x4. Nicely equipped, not stripped, with a 10-way power driver's seat, Sirius satellite radio, keyless entry, and much more. Yours for only $254 a month, and Hoffman has 20 to choose from. But hurry, when they're gone, they're gone. Escape winter with Hoffman Ford, Harrisburg's premier Ford dealer. Call or shop online at hoffmanford.com.
Back at Cedar Cliff High School, we thought we had one more match for you folks, but it turns out to be a forfeit. Max Good of Cedar Cliff awarded the forfeit victory at 145 pounds. So that makes the final score Cedar Cliff 36, Lower Dauphin 23. And there is Coach Rob Rapsey of Cedar Cliff. He earns his 150th career victory tonight as the coach of the Cedar Cliff Colts. So congratulations, Coach. Job well done by Cedar Cliff, who now is in firm control. Sole possession of first place in Mid-Penn Keystone Division. And stick around, folks. We are not done. The action is over, but we still have to wrap up some things, and we will be doing that next, coming up on our CRIA post-match show. That's coming up next. So stay tuned. You're watching High School Wrestling on ABC 27, presented by PHFA.
Hey guys, just in time.
When Julie wanted to provide some stability for her 2 boys, she reached out to the Pennsylvania Housing Finance Agency for her home loan. We're proud we could help Julie and her family. If you're looking for an affordable home loan or refinancing option, give us a call. We offer down payment and closing cost assistance too. Call us weekdays 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. or check our website. We're the Pennsylvania Housing Finance Agency. We help homeownership dreams come true.
Under a new state law, all electronics must be recycled.
Welcome to the Dauphin County Recycling Center, where recycling is quick, easy, and free.
You may recycle appliances or even cell phones.
We're open 6 days a week, and recycling is as easy as 1, 2, 3.
Contact our helpful staff at the Recycling Center or visit our website for more information.
Help us protect our planet, because tomorrow does matter.
Do you have a game plan for retirement and college education?
In today's turbulent economic landscape, navigating the market to ensure a secure retirement can be challenging. PAC Financial can help guide you every step of the way.
I define financial independence as when work is optional and retirement's affordable.
So when life throws unexpected obstacles, you can still win the game.
Hi, I'm Steve Morazzo. Contact us today for your free, no obligation consultation.
This new diet half and half's awesome.
Best part's lemonade. Best part's a tea.
Lemonade! Tea! Lemonade! Tea! Lemonade! Tea! Lemonade! Tea! Lemonade!
So which half is your favorite?
And they're blended so perfectly, who cares? Tasty tea, tangy lemonade, 10 calories. Snapple diet half and half. Made from the best stuff on earth.
Andy, you had a choice to make. Holiday lights, the snowman, or that thing. Just scary. But you threw Mueller out and said, I want and. Because you don't go for choices. You go for greatness. So you go with Pizza Hut's Big Dinner Box. Get 2 medium one-topping pizzas, breadsticks, and pick from wings, rollers, pasta, or now a third pizza for just $19.99. And get any other delicious pizza for $10. All hail Andy, the king of the cul-de-sac. Go for greatness, people. Pizza. Make it great.
It's always better when you get to pick your team. That's why I didn't just accept the regional health plan offered at work. I went to a Highmark Direct store and picked a more affordable plan with a broader network, one that I feel better with.
For the most value, you're better with Blue. We're reinventing affordable health care for today and for generations to come. For all you do, you're better with Highmark Blue Shield.
Welcome back to Cedar Cliff High School. John Reppitz, joined by George Hartwick. This is the CRIA post-match show. You just got done watching Cedar Cliff defeat Lower Dauphin tonight by a final count of 36-23. The Colts take over sole possession of first place Mid-Penn Keystone Division. We are joined by Bailey Shutt, who is our Brenner Wrestler of the Match. Congratulations. That was a heck of a pin you came up with over Mr. Colello there tonight. So how'd you feel about that one?
I felt pretty good, honestly. I mean, I don't know really what to say. I just felt pretty good afterwards. I felt pretty confident going into it.
Did you know it was Mr. Colello's potential for a 100th win tonight?
I didn't know that till after the match.
Okay, well, you put some spoils on here at Cedar Cliff High School tonight.
I did.
But a big win, a big momentum builder for you.
Yes.
Explain to us, I think he also has the move of the match tonight.
That's correct.
So.
CRIA move of the match. We're giving it to you for that pin as well. So a double award winner tonight. So take us through what you're going on there. And it seemed like the Cedar Cliff bench was yelling because they thought maybe you're getting the arm up a little too high, and you just kept that move going, and you ended up with the pin.
Yeah, I mean, I had a game plan going into it. 0-0 first period. I know he was going to gas. Kept it close second period. He was dead by third, so all I had to do was get that bar in and just crank it, and he was going over. So, I mean,
so conditioning kind of maybe swung
big
things in your
factor.
favor?
I guess you could say that. Yeah.
Okay. I mentioned to you earlier, I was going back over my notes from last year, and you took on Mr. Chris Vassar last year, and he got a pin against you. So a little bit of a revenge factor tonight, coming back and pinning one of the Colts' big guys?
Big revenge, yeah. I was ready for it today. I mean, yeah, I wanted revenge against Vassar, but he kind of already graduated. So, just kidding.
Lost your chance on that one.
Yeah,
Well, tonight we build this as a big a matchup with both of you teams undefeated. You fell a little short tonight, and both teams are very young. Got a new coach this year. Tell me a little bit about the coach's philosophy, conditioning you had alluded to, and some of the young guys on your team and the opportunity for what Lower Dolphins wrestling team looks like moving forward.
Well, we expect to go undefeated going on further, but the coach is very intense, running all the time. We drill pretty hard, but we're always running, conditioning, very intense practices, no joke.
All right, in comparison to other practices, you guys in better condition than you were last year?
Oh, yeah, especially me, but the whole team, big time. We didn't really run too much last year, worked on technique a little bit more, so it was a change this year.
And we expect late in the third period, if they're close matches, Lower Dolphin's going to come out on top.
That's what we're expecting. That's what we're hoping for.
Okay. Congratulations again, Bailey Shutt, our wrestler of the match, Brenner wrestler of the match for his pin at 160 pounds tonight over Jake Colello of Cedar Cliff. Stay tuned. We'll be back with more of the CRIA post-match show coming up next. You're watching High School Sports Live on ABC 27, presented by PHFA.
You don't think about physical therapy until you need it. When you do, see your doctor and ask for First Choice Rehabilitation Specialists and Select Physical Therapy. First Choice and Select
High School, where Cedar Cliff defeated Lower Dauphin tonight 36-23 to take sole possession of first place in Mid-Penn Keystone Division. We're joined by Colts head coach Rob Rapsey. And Coach, congratulations.
Thanks.
150th victory here tonight at Cedar Cliff. Was this one any sweeter than any of the other ones?
It's always nice to win. But, our objective is basically to work hard and improve in every match. And we don't really put any more emphasis on one match than the other. We just want to keep winning, winning our matches and give us our best shot at getting to the state tournament at the end of the year.
Mm-hmm. Carolina Blue tonight. Is that new?
Yeah.
Tell us about the singlets. We were joking, the first time I came out as an official and obviously as a wrestler, I remember Coach Craig pounding on the sidelines. We didn't know if he'd ever have the flair to do the blue uniforms, but they look good. Tell us about the blue.
He did, actually.
They did?
They're throwback uniforms.
Okay.
Our junior high wore those back in the early 80s, late 70s, early 80s, and some of our kids saw them, and we got them made a couple years ago for the kids. But a coach here by the name of Mr. Steinhardt, who was here, and a junior high coach, actually got those singlets. So Mr. Craig might have been like, I'm not sure, So
well, big win tonight. You've really started a chapter of an era where you guys are expecting to be the competitive group in your division.
Yeah.
Last year you won the division.
Right.
This year you're setting the bar again, and going against a very tough opponent and undefeated Lower Dauphin. Have a young team.
Yeah.
I saw some freshmen tonight.
Yeah.
You're 106-pounder, you're 113-pounder. All these kids are coming to compete at a young age.
Right.
Tell me about the future of Cedar Cliff Wrestling.
I'm really excited about our future. We've got a great junior high team, too. They're undefeated right now. We got some really good kids coming up in there, and we've got 9 or 10 kids that are just 9th and 10th grade starting on this team. So we sometimes will wrestle up to 9 or 10 starters, usually about 9 that'll be 9th and 10th graders. So we're real excited, and they've made big leaps of an improvement the last couple years. We're very excited about that.
Going to Powerade, King of the Mountain, giving them that exposure. It may, we talked a little bit about it in the broadcast, it may tarnish the record earlier, but what kinds of preparation and that level of competition do when you come back into the regular season for these young guys?
Well, that's what we're looking for, real good competition. We actually go to Beast, not King of the Mountain, but we go to Beast. Beast of the East, and we go to Powerade. We've gone to Reno in the past, and we tell our kids, you wrestle that kind of competition, you come back and you get to your sectional district tournament, even though it's one of the best district tournaments in the state and the country, we still feel like our kids aren't in all at all. They feel like they should be able to go through that tournament. And our objectives team-wise that way is, we want to work hard, outwork our opponent, and no match is any different than any other match. Our goal isn't necessarily to win the league. Our goal is to get to the state tournament. If we win the league along the way, that's great, but we want to get seeded as high as we can, win every match we can, and take our chance of getting to the state tournament a little bit early this year. We know down the road we feel like we're set up for some really good things in the next year or two, but we'd like to get there a little early.
150 match win. You got a bright future, great junior high team. Looks like we got Cedar Cliff Wrestling back on the map.
I hope so. Yeah, the kids are doing a good job. Everybody's working hard. Everybody's excited. We just got to keep pounding away.
Great credit to you, Coach.
Thank you.
Congratulations, Coach. Again, Rob Rapsey, his 150th career victory tonight as Cedar Cliff defeats Lower Dauphin by a score of 36-23 here at Cedar Cliff. So that is going to wrap it up tonight. Our next broadcast here on High School Sports Live is actually basketball action that comes your way tomorrow evening. And on the Wednesday night, the 15th, it will be West York and Central York, a boys game, single game, coming your way at 7:30. Thanks again to the production crew from Invicta. It brings you the sights and sounds of all these wrestling matches and basketball games. Great job, guys. Again, Cedar Cliff, a winner tonight over Lower Dauphin, 36-23. That's going to wrap it up here from Cedar Cliff High School. Join us again Saturday night for our next wrestling match. It's going to be a big one, folks, one of the biggest in the state of Pennsylvania in Class AA this year. Bermudian Springs at Boiling Springs. If you can't get a ticket, sit home and watch it. We'll have all the action for you coming up. So again, Cedar Cliff, a 36-23 winner tonight over Lower Dauphin. For George Hartwick and everybody with Invicta and ABC 27. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next time. Have a good night.